thanks to the supporters at channel member PP0476. Well, we have a very unlikely chance to win the Premier League here today, but we never really wanted to win the Premier League anyway. The Premier League is for nerds. Today is all about winning the Conference League. We have the Conference League final against Dortmund, and we're going to have to do it without player of the season, Jude McRobbie, who, whilst out suspended, has now managed to give himself a hernia and is out for the season. So we've got to do it without our boy, which isn't ideal, but I'm sure he won't mind if we somehow manage to win the Premier League in his absence. This is the situation going into the final day. We are level on points with Manchester City, but they have a massive goal difference advantage. We're at home against Watford. It's a game you would hope we should be capable of winning, but it won't matter unless City drop points. They're away against Bournemouth, who are down in 15th place and have nothing to play for. So Bournemouth are here purely with the opportunity to play spoiler. If they can cause City to drop points and we win the league. Otherwise, we need to beat Bournemouth by more than 7 goals more than what we need to beat Watford by 7 goals more than what Man City beat Bournemouth by, which seems quite unlikely. This is the team that we're going to be sending out there to try and win 15-0 and see what happens. It's Restes in goal, a back four of Hincapié, Castro, Roivers and Angelique. Castro literally in the team because he's a threat from set pieces. I think Thimbers probably is the better defender currently, but Castro scores goals from corners, and goodness me, we need goals. And Zita and Nielsen in midfield, Harley on the left, McAdams on the right, and then Kelly and Elatsi up front. And there is your confirmation of the bad news about Jude McRobbie. He, in addition to being suspended, is also now injured as well. So it justifies his red card that got him his suspension, because he would have been out today anyway with his hernia. But the hernia is going to rule him out of the Conference League final as well, which is gutting for him because he has been such a key part of the team this year, having effectively come from nowhere. He was at the point where at 20 years old, I was happy to send him out on loan, knowing it would cost us the opportunity for him to become homegrown at club, because it was in the back of my mind, it was very much we'll let him have some loan time before he leaves permanently. I don't think he's going to make it. We recalled him from his loan after 6 months, and he's pretty much been in the team ever since, because he went out on loan to Germany and was fantastic in the German league. So he'd be the man to help beat Dortmund for us, but alas, we've got to do it without him. It does mean an extended run on the wing for Rob Harley, which, if he continues to perform well there, is going to lead to me having to make some decisions going into next season. Although, to be fair, they're not very hard decisions, because neither Elatsi or Kelly are setting the world alight up front as a partnership either. Both of them have looked better when playing with Harley. I certainly wouldn't trust either of them as a lone striker. So there's no logic in moving Harley out to the wing and then bringing one of the attacking midfielders back in and leaving one of them up front on their own, because I think they both need Harley alongside them to function. But Harley is playing well out wide, and we have taken the lead through Nielsen. It's 1-0. We don't know what's going on at Manchester City, but what we do know is at the moment, albeit briefly on the final day of the season, we are top of the Premier League. I don't expect it to last all day, but imagine the chance of we are top of the league going around Ewood Park right now are probably quite loud. Yeah, I still expect Manchester City to ruin our fun. How do we get the league table on here? We need it available to us at all times. In fact, this is probably more important. We want to see what's going on in the Manchester City game. We want Bournemouth to score. This is where we need picture in picture. Kelly has got in behind, and it's a lovely finish from Kelly. We're 2-0 up. Are we going to win 10-0 and then put the ball back in Manchester City's court? It's 2-0 to Blackburn. We're playing with the shackles off today. And Kelly, with a nice little finish, it's a lovely little dink over the goalkeeper to put us 2-0 up. Still 0-0 in the Manchester City game as things stand currently. That's all that matters right now, is Bournemouth holding Manchester City at bay in that game. I don't expect Football Manager to be that nice to me. City have been in incredible form. They literally have come from nowhere. They were well behind us, never mind behind Manchester United, with like 10 games to go. And they've just done what City do at the end of seasons. And they've pretty much just won 10 consecutive games to put themselves in pole position. If after that they were to then bottle it on the last day away against Bournemouth have been in a relegation battle all season. That would be bonkers. But Bournemouth have taken the lead against Manchester City, and that is the biggest cheer that has been heard at this ground for 30 years. Oh, my word. The players will know. They will have heard the cheer. They will be hearing the chants. As it stands right now, with half an hour of the season remaining, Manchester City need a 2-goal swing in their match, or Blackburn Rovers will be Premier League champions, which is a stupid sentence for anyone to say, even though we've been there before back in the 90s. Right, Harley is going to come off. We're going to bring Evans on that left-hand side. We have to have an eye on the Conference League final as well. Mad as that sounds. Carsten's going to come on as well, and we're going to drop into our 4-2-3-1. Which is very easy to drop in. I don't know why the players don't go into the right positions when they drop into it, but we can just drop into that. Hincapié is going to come off for Baker Whiting. And just all eyes on there. That is the most important thing we've ever seen. There must be 2 Premier League trophies, because I know it'd be fun to have it on a helicopter between the 2 grounds. We're getting between Blackburn and Bournemouth with 20 minutes to go. You'd think they'd be hovering over our ground around about now, but they might have to do a U-turn if Manchester City just decide to have Erling Haaland, the robot, ruin our day after we're having such a nice time. We're being so polite. We're having such a nice day. Don't ruin it for us, you big silly robot. The game is glitching out. Oh God, imagine if we got to the 90th minute and the game crashed. That would be peak FM26. Right, Kelly lays it off to Carstens. Carstens took his time to release it back to Kelly again, and now Nielsen bursting forward out of midfield gives it to McAdams. There is so much lag going on at the moment. Is that the game trying to tell me there's a goal gone in? I forgot I could still have that on screen. Right, Castro now trying to take the long throw, and that is something I've never seen him try before, but he seems to have that in his arsenal. Right, Baker Whiting has rattled the crossbar from range. It's still 1-0 to Bournemouth in the other match. Cross comes in, Evans makes it 3. We've done our bit, and it's all we could do. We have done our bit. Are Bournemouth doing that? I mean, I'd send them a medal. We get an amount of medals to distribute, don't we? We'll send one down to Bournemouth as a thank you to whoever scored in that game. Right, Koklov's coming on. Thimbres is coming on in midfield as well. But Koklov coming on the right-hand side is something that he's had to do a bit more of lately, as he continues to try and keep a spot in the team. That is a huge problem for us heading into the Conference League final, because Nielsen is he's certainly the unsung hero of the team. He's an absolutely key player. It's 2-0 to Bournemouth. I think we've won the league. It's 3-0 to Bournemouth. What on earth is going on at Bournemouth? That's absolute madness. But I think now, with a couple of minutes to go, it is safe to say we've won the league, which is absolutely bonkers. I don't even know what to say. It was just not on the cards. Football Manager, you cheeky little rascal. Give us a trophy lift. It's the trophy! Oh, my word. There I am, white shoes, punching the air. Too right, I'm going to milk this moment. This is my bleeping moment. Oh, my word. Here we go. Premier League champions. I don't know why Angeli's lifting it. He's not the captain, but he is our best player, so I guess let him have his fun. And there doesn't seem like there's enough players on that stage, but I'm there, shiny white shoes, dancing players. We've won the Premier League, which is just silly. So silly. I can't imagine what has gone on in that game for Manchester City. That's a spectacular bottle job. There must have been an early red card or something. And this is still one of the frustrating things about FM26. I do love this game, but it's these situations where I would love to be able to go and get a little bit more context. There you go. I'm one of the top English managers, which is jolly nice. But I don't want to request a contract. I mean, I do, but that's not what I want to do now. What happened in the Man City game is what we want to know. How do we... See, this is I'd just be able to go straight there in FM 24. I mean, Haaland has delivered a generational stinker. I mean, I guess they snatch a lead just at half-time against the run of play, and then City are obviously throwing the kitchen sink at it for the last 10 minutes, which is why the following two go in. But we've won the Premier League. I can't use my words. And we've done it off a strong defence. We've kept the most clean sheets. Jude McRobbie ends as top assist maker. Restes is top clean sheet. And Harley, who's been getting so much hassle down in the comment section. Need I remind you, Rob Harley is a real person. He's a Name in the Game channel member. Don't be too mean about him. I'm sure he's a lovely man. But he's joint third top scorer in the league. So turns out he always was a striker. Kev's right. Kev wins. Let's face it, we've just won the Premier League with Blackburn with him as our captain and key player. So anyone who says he's not, I'm right, you're wrong. No. Let's go and win the Conference League. Come on! Well, not only are we going to have to try and win this with hangovers, we're also going to have to do it without arguably our two key players of the season. McRobbie, obviously still injured. Nielsen is now injured as well. He's got a groin strain and is going to be not much use on his couple of weeks holiday that he's going to have before the season gets up and running again. Poor Mrs. Nielsen. But Fimbres is going to play in midfield because we don't really have anyone else who can do that particular role that Nielsen can do other than him. So we're going a little bit experimental. It does mean we can keep Castro in the side as well, and looking at who the other options would be from the players that are available. And we can't even do a full bench, but looking at who else could potentially play there. I mean, Baker Whiting, Carstens, who's just not that kind of player. Landu's not that kind of player. I think Fimbres is our best bet in that role. He might be absolutely rubbish at it. But we are going with Restes in goal, a back four of Hincapié, Castro, Roivers and Angeli, Fimbres and Nzita in midfield, Harley on the left, McAdams on the right, Elatsi and Kelly up front. We don't really care about what happens in this match. We've got our piece of silverware now, so we don't have to be like, oh, we want to win some silverware. Obviously, it would be nice to win the Conference League. We're in the Champions League next year, so it would obviously be very nice to go into the Champions League knowing we're capable of winning a European trophy, knowing we're Premier League champions and capable of winning a conference European trophy. Genuinely, we could win the Champions League next season. We might be getting a bit ahead of ourselves. I think that was probably quite a low point scoring Premier League that we've just won. I think we've ended on 82 points. I haven't looked at how many points you normally need to win the Premier League. I feel like 82 is on the low side. So I suspect in another season, that wouldn't have been enough to win the Premier League. And I think there's a couple of teams very much in transition. If you look at the Man United and the Man City teams, they've got a lot of players who probably are due replacement. We just had a media thing come through saying Jurrien Timber has extended his retirement at Manchester United for another season. It's like, I mean, we're 12 years in the future. I don't think Man United should be asking Jurrien Timber to extend his career by another year. Sign a new guy. City still relying on Haaland. We're at that transitional point that every save gets to, where the computer tries to cling on to the real players for a little bit longer than us as the players would do. It's probably, what I'm saying is, I think we've just won the Premier League in the easiest season to win the Premier League. Give it another year or two and the big club is going to come back with their shiny new gens. They're going to start hoovering up the talent, and it's going to become a lot harder for us to do. And I don't think this is a great football manager team that we've got here at Blackburn yet. There's a lot of potential here, but I think it's probably one of the weakest teams that I've ever won the Premier League with. So I don't think we're necessarily going to go on and just win the Champions League straight away. It'd be fun if we did, although I would have to get my ideas cap on to come up with a new save if we did that. But what I'm saying is, it'd be nice to win the Conference League. And Dortmund obviously are a team that traditionally do quite well in the Champions League. So being able to beat this lot, who've been there, done that, in a big European final, or the Conference League final, it's all It's all experience. It's all character building. It's all going to help these young players continue to get better and win more and more stuff, which is obviously what we're looking for from them. Restes showing why we very much are looking for a goalkeeper this summer, because that was an alarming save. I think he saved that with the tip of his willy, and it went out for a corner. Which I honestly, use your hands. You're allowed to. You don't need to be exposing yourself in such a. When I say expose yourself, I think he kept it in his shorts. But just use your hands. Tim Kelly. There you go. That's what we spent all that. I'm so glad he scored there, so I could stop talking about what I was talking about. I was losing it a little bit, but Kelly, that's why we spent all that money on him, to do exactly this goal. We do so many crosses that for so long have been a bit of a waste. Now we've got a big guy in there who can do that. It's not necessarily something I want to do from the start of every match forevermore. I think he's probably going to be a super sub for us if we can convince him to enjoy the role, because I think Elazzi and Harley is the strike partnership for the next 10 seasons, because they're both still so young. But I think Kelly has got an important role to play as part of that. And Elazzi, I mean, he's already top scorer in the Conference League for this season. He's just showing just how good he is. If he can bring this form to the Premier League, we're just going to get better and better as a team. But that's Fimbras, by the way, our centre-back playing out of position in midfield. I mean, if he's genuinely going to become an option for us in that role, the only reason I've not really noticed how weak we are in that position is because Nielsen has been indestructible all season. It's only now that the league season has ended that he's picked up an injury. It's like, we don't really have another guy who can do this. Fimbras is the only other guy, but he's doing it quite well against a good Dortmund team. So if he is going to be a rotation option in midfield, then we probably do need another centre-back. After what's happened with Jude McRobbie this season, maybe we bring Martin Palermo back. He's been playing for Hull in the Championship all season. Imagine if he came back, the first exciting Wigan youngster to come through. He was a season ahead of Harley and McRobbie. Imagine if he finally ended up part of the team. That would be a bigger comeback story than Jude McRobbie. But I don't expect it's going to happen. I think at 21, 22, however old he is now, he's not even like Hull's star player. I don't think he's going to walk into a Champions League and Premier League winning squad even, never mind team. And it's not like he's homegrown at club and he's going to help on that front. We do have to, I guess, think in terms of Champions League squad registration for next season. We do still have Higgins on the books. He's only out on loan. Tyjon left permanently, but if we're going to play with two strikers, there's probably a squad spot for Higgins as the fourth of the four that we would want as a homegrown at club player, at least while we wait for some of these other boys to tick over and become homegrown at club. Although someone like Angeli, who's still got one more year before he becomes homegrown at club, he has now had 2 years at the club and is still under 21. So although he won't class as homegrown at club for Champions League next season, he won't need to be registered for the Champions League squad next season because he's under 21 and has been here for 2 years. So it's effectively the same thing. So he basically becomes homegrown at club a year early. Harley's already homegrown at club. And we've got a few others who'll get there, who will fit the same criteria. Like Koklov, I think, has been here 2 years and is still under 21. So he won't need to be registered. So I think we're probably going to be okay while we wait another year for the homegrown at club boys to become homegrown at club. Tim Kelly this is his arrival as a Blackburn player. His first half a season with us has been hampered by injury, hampered by the emergence of Elazzi. We've changed system from the system we brought him in to play him in. But here he is, turning up in a European final, having a very good match. This is a strange highlight. I think we score a goal in a minute. I love these angles. There we go. The ball's finally back. And there's Kelly. Wallop. Lovely. 3-0. Job done. We're getting a double trophy lift. I think this is our first double trophy lift episode of FM26. You'll have to let me know if I'm making that up. There's every chance we had one during the beta. But either way, it doesn't take the shine off what has been an excellent run-in at the end of this season. I think we finally found our tactic. Now we just need those last couple of missing pieces of the puzzle as players. We've talked before, Hincapié can't be a long-term solution at left-back at 34, 35 years old. So we need another guy who can do that inverted fullback role on that side as well as he does. And as good as Jake Evans, for example, has been as a squad player since we've been in the Premier League, we probably need to upgrade some of the fringe players. Because we've got a good first 11, but as we're seeing with having to play Fimbres in midfield today, and the fact that Evans is on the pitch and Riedel is on the pitch at right back, Baker Whiting probably isn't Champions League quality. We've got a lot of players like that who, okay, that's where we need to be upgrading. Our first 11 for the first game of the new season might not have any new signings in it for the first time, unless we get a really good goalkeeper, or I guess a really good left back. But there is a world where we don't have new signings on the first day of the season, which obviously will let us start the season a little bit better. But we do need to upgrade the squad players around that first 11, I think, because again we're now looking at Coquelin coming on to play on the right hand side, which is fine when you're 3-0 up and the game's already won. You don't really want to be doing that away at Real Madrid when you're a goal down, though, do you? Likewise with Carstens having to play central midfield. I mean, there's not a central midfielder on the pitch there. We've got one winger, 2 attacking midfielders, 5 even centre-backs all on the pitch at the same time. There's some squad rebalancing that could be done, but that's all stuff for us to worry about tomorrow. Today is all about celebration, and Alazzi, I think, is going to put the cherry on top, and he does. It's 4-0 to Blackburn. We have absolutely ripped Borussia Dortmund apart, and the best player in this season's Conference League is the guy who's applied the final finish. Alazzi, this was his tournament. This is what turned him from being a breakthrough prospect into a starter in the Premier League. He has played pretty much every game we've played in the Conference League, and he has benefited from it enormously. And he should get to lift this trophy. But once again, it's me entering the stage first. Still very white shoes, lovely jeans. I didn't even stroke the trophy as I walked past it. But we have got the trophy lift. Tracksuit Man is going to lift it, which, I mean, take your hoodie off, chap. Just, let people think you're a player. It's like a guy out of the club shops come on to lift the... I don't even know who it is because I can't see his number. I assume that's Rob Harley because I think we took him off in the match and he is our captain. But 4-0. Come on. Double trophy lift. What an episode. Everyone gets praise. Everyone gets a pat on their head. Everyone go and have a lovely old summer. Must remember to send a Premier League trophy to Bournemouth. And not trophy. We'll keep that. They can have one medal. But that sets us up very nicely for what is going to be a hugely important transfer window as we look to build what is effectively going to be our end game squad now. I think the idea of us moving away from Blackburn before the end of non-league to legend is probably done. Unless someone like a Barcelona or a Paris Saint-Germain comes in for us. I think we're here for the long haul. Let's build a team that can win the Champions League next season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.